Mommy, back with another video in a series that we're calling Countdown to Thanksgiving. Today, we're going to cook collard greens. A favorite in our community. Everybody usually loves them. We're going to list the ingredients and let you know what we're going to be putting in these particular greens. We plan to be able to give you a little something that you can go home and create in about 45 minutes or so. So today, these are the collard greens. They have been washed, cleaned, deveined, and cut from the chiffonade ribbons. Of course, we have chicken broth and bouillon, chicken bouillon, better than bouillon, chicken broth, stock. We have ginger, we have garlic, we have pepper dews, we have ghee. I like to cook with ghee because it's kind of like a butter oil. You know, it is butter that's been clarified down into an oil. And this is mirin. This is an Asian staple. It's kind of sweet. And this is rice vinegar that gives us a sweet and sour. This is also in my salt and pepper that I ground up by hand with my little mortar and pestle. I have several mortar and pestles of different sizes because I love to chop up fresh spices. So these are all the ingredients that we're going to use today. Also I forgot the green onions. I'm so sorry. Of course we have green onions. Now, people are like, well, what? Yes, these are green onions, and I put green onions in this particular recipe. If you are a good cook, and I know that most of you are, you know that you can cook the same vegetable in several different ways. And so you will see me cook a green pot or cook these different kinds of greens in several different ways. Today, this is just the take that I'm going with all the other agents that I have going within the meal. So we're going to have green onions with our collard greens today in my kitchen, which I welcome you to, and the series that we're calling Countdown to Thanksgiving. Welcome. Hello. We are about to begin making collard greens, and we're just going to jump right in. I've already put 3 or 4 tablespoons of ghee, and if you look at it, you can see it turns into a nice oil, and that's why I like it, and it gives those greens the butter flavor that I'm looking for. You see, I'm gonna go ahead and put my onions in. I'm going to go ahead and put my peppers in. If you'll notice that in a minute, I'm going to go ahead and put my garlic in. But notice I put these things in first because garlic can burn. And so sometimes if you don't know what happened, that might have been what happened. You know, you put the garlic in too soon on too high of a heat and it burns. And it will give us a little bit of a problem taste, you see. So I'm going to get another spoon because I don't want to put my garlic into my ginger. And I'm going to put my ginger in the pot. You think I'm making this look easy? I'm not. It just is easy. Looks like it's a little over a couple of weeks, but I'm going to use it. We're going to let this go around in the oil, that ghee that we showed you earlier when we did the ingredient profile. We're going to let that come up to a little thing. Now, what are we going to do now? We'll start putting the greens in. What? Yep, we're going to start putting the greens in. I'm going to turn this off a little bit. We're going to start putting these greens in. Now, I may have to put a little extra oil in them. collard greens, mustard greens, turnip greens, all of those greens, dandelion greens, all these things I grow up back down south eating. All of them will wither down. So you may start with a big bowl of greens. And end up with very few greens. See those little ribbons that I have here? It makes it easy to cook. Now we're going to start with this. And we're not going to put any water in this. We're going to put a top on it. And let it cook down. And we'll be right back when they do. So, I just wanted to come back and let you see how it's steaming down. I didn't add any water, but you see, if you look in the bottom of the pot, because we put it on a certain temperature, as you can see underneath, that fire, how the fire is going under there. It's a medium to high heat, and I'm putting the top on it, and it's steaming. So it has steamed down a bit, and right now I'm going to season it, because I added more to it, and it steamed down also. And so now that this little batch has steamed down, I'm going to add salt and pepper. This is a salt and pepper mix. Fresh ground. You see? And now I'm going to add the remaining of the remainder of these greens. And as you can see, because I know probably when I started doing this, you were like, what is this chick doing? But I'm just steaming them down because that's a quick way to cook it, you see. It will not take you as long to prepare something that people usually boil for quite some time called very tough wintergreen collard green. This might save you some time. And since we're seasoning each time we add to the pot, it's going to be really flavorful. So, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back to finish the greens. Okay, as you can see, it's steamed down all the way. It's still not fully thoroughly cooked through. So what we're going to do now is we're going to finish seasoning. Salt and pepper again. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Okay, then what we're going to do, we're going to add 1 little tablespoon of better than bouillon. Put that in because I don't want to lose any of that. That's enough, 1 tablespoon. Let's not get carried away, because sometimes people cook and all you taste is the seasoning, you don't taste the food. That's not what you want to do. You want to taste the greens that have been complemented with the seasoning. Okay? Now you see that I only added salt and pepper to it, because this is going to be a complete meal of stuffed peppers with lamb, collard greens, cornbread, the pepper and pea soup. That's a full meal. So I don't want to have too many spices. And those pepper dews I added, adding a nice cute color, but not much heat. So now we're going to add about a cup or so of chicken stock. Boom. You see? Now we started with that huge bowl of greens. So now if you got a really big family, I had 5 bunches. You're going to need something like 10 if you got a hungry man. I got some hungry boys in here, but it's so much different kind of food in the refrigerator. I can cook something, little amounts of things, because what I practice is, you know, I put the leftovers on the table with the new things, and there's always enough to go around. That way you don't have to yell at your children. If you put the number of dishes on the table, they'll find something to eat. So yesterday you made rice, you made gravy, you made pork chops, you made rolls, you made corn. Today you're making greens, you're making stew, you're making maybe a pot roast. You're making all these things. If you put all those things on the table, your children will find something they want to eat. You don't want to make them hate food. Okay, so now look very closely at that pot. And you can see already that's looking pretty good. So mirin is kind of my son calls it a sweet sake, which is probably what it is. So we want to create a sweet and sour sensation. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit of this in. We're going to put about 2 or 3 of these tablespoons of it in. One. Because collard greens can be kind of bitter. So I'm going to put about 3. I'm going to put 3 in there. 3 little, just 3. Don't, it's okay. Don't, it's all right. So then I'm going to put me some vinegar in there. Because that's going to create that little, going to tenderize it a little bit. And going to create that little sweet and sour feel over the green. And you trying to figure out exactly what it is, you see. So you notice how I cook these down before I start putting in this vinegar. Because you need to break the fiber down. So, because sometimes you can add vinegar too early and it will make what you're cooking tough. And especially if you add it early to a bean or a pea, it'll have difficulty cooking down and breaking down. So that's why we're adding this a little bit at the end. So about 4 tablespoons of that too. I'm not shy, so there you are. You can see that I'm not. Now, we're going to let this cook down a little more for about, 15 or 20 minutes. And by that time, it'll be fully cooked and ready to serve. Now that only took us about 30 minutes. Well, no, it took us 22 minutes. From the beginning of when we started till now, it took 22 minutes. Now we're probably going to take about 10 more minutes and you ready to sit down to dinner with this part of your meal. Okay, let's take a break and then we'll come right back. Okay, we've gotten to the end of the preparation of our greens. They are fully cooked and ready to go. This is the amount that we have from 5 bunches of greens. Don't they look pretty? They're ready for their close-up and the engagement with your mouth. So, I hope you liked this quick and easy way and flavorful way to make some greens. You can come home on a work night and put these right together and have them ready to go on the table within 30-45 minutes for your family. Just remember to steam them and just be patient and season as you go along. 20-30 minutes later, you got a pot of greens. So remember to subscribe, like, comment, and please share these videos. And don't forget, I see you